Hey everybody, happy Friday. Welcome to another edition of The Daily here with Jason Seguini. I'm Nick Furshaw, counting down the hours, Jay, to the U.S. national team's penultimate World Cup qualifying game on Friday night against Jamaica out in Kansas City, 6:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN and Unimas in Spanish. We've talked about this game all week, and we thought we had everything settled until we found out on Thursday that there's some lineup changes here. Eddie Johnson has gone back to Seattle because of an injury. We assumed he was going to start in this game against Jamaica. He's out now. What do you make of Jurgen Klinsmann? What can he do with that lineup now?
Yeah, I mean, I think what we're going to see, a lot of people think Jurgen Klinsmann's going to kind of play this game safe. What we're going to see probably will be Landon Donovan teaming up with Jozy Altidore up top. I think what it does allow, though, is for Jurgen Klinsmann to tinker a little bit, which is what a lot of people thought these games were for. So maybe we'll see a little bit more of Aron Johansson than we would have, and maybe see that Jozy Altidore, Aron Johansson pairing for a good portion of maybe the second half of this game. Something I'm looking forward to. I want to see him after that game he played against Bosnia-Herzegovina. We haven't seen him very much since
I haven't seen him very much, and a lot of people are curious to see him. You might see him on Friday night. Now, don't forget, Terrence Boyd is also in this camp, and newly brought in Chris Wondolowski and Clarence Goodson from the San Jose Earthquakes, and Brad Davis from the Houston Dynamo. Got to assume that's with eyes towards that Panama game on Monday. Make sure you keep it tuned to MLSsoccer.com. We've got complete coverage of the U.S. national team. Our very own Andrew Wiebe is on the ground in Kansas City, and then he's going to Panama. A pretty nice gig for him as the Hex wraps up on Monday. The game tonight, again, 6:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN and Unimas. Well, switching to the MLS schedule this weekend, a light slate because of the international dates, but a handful of meaningful games for the playoff picture for those Eastern Conference teams in the 5 through 7 spots. New England, Philly, and the Chicago Fire all on the road this weekend, looking to get some points down the stretch here. What's the one game you're looking at, the most meaningful of the three?
Yeah, I mean, I think of all those games, it's New England at Montreal, because you mentioned the 5 through 7 teams. Montreal's right above them, and there's only 4 points separating Montreal and the 7th place team. If New England can go on the road to Montreal and get a win, they not only help their own playoff chances, but obviously they would also help Chicago and Philadelphia as well. Remember last time these two teams played in New England, Matt Reese got the really early red card. Montreal ended up winning the game 4-2, but it was an exciting match despite New England playing shorthanded. I think they'd like to now go to Montreal and play against what could be a shorthanded Montreal team and exact some revenge. We now heard that Jeb Brovsky out with a broken toe, and of course Marco Di Vaio's health is in question as well.
Golden Boot race very up in the air at this point with Di Vaio and Mike McGee both in action on Saturday, and again some big games for the Eastern Conference teams. That New England-Montreal game is 2:30 p.m. Eastern. It's on MLS Live and TSN up in Canada. Philly on the road at DC, 7 p.m. Eastern on MLS Live, and the Chicago Fire on the road down in Dallas, 8:30 p.m. Eastern on MLS Live. Last but certainly not least, the big game on Sunday. Portland at home against Seattle, 9 p.m. Eastern on the mothership, ESPN, the final matchup between these two teams in the regular season. Anyway, Seattle's been struggling as of late, and Portland happy to have the Sounders at Jeld-Wen Field for the first time this season. A lot on the line. Playoff berths and the Cascadia Cup.
Yeah, when you look at it, the Seattle Sounders have not looked good in the past 2 weeks. But they could probably erase the memories of those 2 games with a win at Jeld-Wen Field. Not only would that put them in the playoffs, it would win them the Cascadia Cup. That said, it is a tall task. The Portland Timbers have looked good at home this season, and they have a lot of firepower. Should be a very exciting game, and of course, we will be tuned in.
One of the biggest questions surrounding this game, Clint Dempsey, his availability on Sunday, told the media after that midweek loss to Vancouver, he's feeling better. We'll see if he can actually get in the starting lineup for Ziggy Schmidt or how much he can contribute, like you said, on the road, hostile territory with the Timbers looking to win.
When he came into that last game in Vancouver, it was a wide open game at that point. I'm not sure to expect the similar kind of game in Portland, but that said, Dempsey's passing ability is going to help open things up for the Seattle Sounders. The real questions for them, though, are on the defensive end. They got to get that sorted.
Certainly still some issues for the Seattle Sounders to figure out, and it's going to be tough on Sunday at Jeld-Wen Field, 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Make sure you log on to MLSsoccer.com for complete coverage of MLS action this weekend and the U.S. national team game on Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, ESPN and Unimas. That does it for us. Enjoy the games this weekend. Be back again on Monday.